What do you submit when you submit that draft?
Apologies for the wig. I'm filming cosplay content for my other account, but I just had to stop and answer this question. And I think it really depends on what kind of writer you are and your contract with your publisher. I currently write for a digital first publisher. It's an imprint of HarperCollins in the UK. I have been with this publisher for my last 5 books. I'm currently on my 6th with them, and I have very, very short deadlines. For example, one of my books, I only had on contract 6 months to turn in a first draft to my editor. It was literally right after turning in my other book to them, so I hadn't written anything on that book. I had 6 months to write, edit, and turn it into my editor cold. First time I had to do this was with my second book, and I literally didn't have time to read the book all the way through from beginning to end. I literally was writing right up until the deadline, did not have time to read it, knew it was horrible, it was bad, but I had to turn it in anyway because it was due. Since then, I have gotten much better about dedicating my writing time and organizing and outlining so that I don't run into this problem, but still, I really do kind of run right up to the deadline when it comes to turning in my books. My most recent book was also a 6-month deadline, essentially. I drafted the book in 4 months. I had about a month to kind of like read through it and make edits and turn it into my editor. There was another month, but I was just like busy doing other things. So yeah, it was a really fast turnaround. I am what they call a pretty clean first drafter. That means that my first drafts of my book don't require a lot of edits, usually. The book that I just recently turned in, which I drafted in 4 months and had about 3 to 4 weeks of self-editing time before I turned it into my editor, I just got the edits back on it, the very first edits on it, and there really wasn't many. There weren't many changes to be made. There were a few like chapters that she wanted me to write, new chapters, but overall, in general, pretty clean, not much that needed to be changed. But when I go back and look at what I turned into her, I mean, for me, it was a first draft. I mean, I was able to read through it once or twice, make some edits that I knew needed to be made before I turned it in, but essentially, my first draft was my first draft. That's what she's reading, and my agent didn't even get a copy. She got the copy when my editor got the copy. Digital first publishing has very short lead times. They like it if their authors can write 2 to 3 books a year because they are pumping out 2 to 3 books a year for their authors. If you are an author with a larger imprint, a more major imprint that's not digitally first, then you might be in an opportunity to have a longer lead time, have maybe a full 12 months to write and edit it before you turn it into your editor or your agent. But it just really depends on the author that you are and the imprint that you are writing for.